give this away.
This will be good.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. B, for meeting with me.
You're welcome.
Again, you are a teacher at Morris Elementary here in Cypress High School. So just kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about what is it like to teach in Cypress School District?
Teaching the Cypress School District is a wonderful district. We're down to 6 schools now, so it's a very tight-knit community. A lot of our school has a lot of parental support, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it benefits the children because having parents involved is obviously a wonderful opportunity to get more active at the school, and shows the kids that, you know, the parents, even though as busy they are in their personal lives, do care about them as well at school. One of the ways that I think I try to get parents a lot involved outside of the classroom is by running the soccer program here at school, where I will invite parents to come have lunch with their kid if they're able to, and then watch them play a soccer game for 15-20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Kids go back to class, and then they can go back to work. So I really try to involve a lot of the parent interaction because I know how important that is for kids, and it means a lot to the kids. Mm-hmm. If they say, "Oh, mom or dad came," it really it makes a huge difference. So I think it's really important to involve the parents.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I have to say, why are we sitting on balls?
We're sitting on exercise balls for several reasons. I'm really big on fitness.
Okay.
I've been doing it now for, 5 or 6 years. All my students sit on exercise balls. Long story short, we do current events in here. One of my old students, several years back, found an article about a classroom in, I believe it was Illinois, 4th grade class, where all the kids sat on exercise balls. And as she's reading this to the class, every kid's eyes popped up. And I could read their minds. They said, "Why don't we have those?" So I had the kids write a little persuasive, and boom, here we are today, several years later. And the reason why is several. One, there's a lot of studies that show that more movement creates more brain activity. It actually stems brain activity by sitting on an exercise ball. More movement creates better brain flow. You're working your core muscles, lower bodies, your abdominals, posture.
Yeah, sitting here, I have to be straight, so I don't. Yeah.
So you don't get a slouch, and it creates a more active learner.
Okay.
Kids want to come in there, and a lot of times, coming to school for kids can be very difficult. So coming into a classroom and having them excited about it, that's half the battle. And they want to sit on an exercise ball and bounce around and move. And it's okay. I encourage, believe it or not, a lot of teachers cringe about this, but I encourage restlessness. It's okay to move around. It's okay to be active and move. So that's why we're sitting on an exercise ball. So I'm proud that you're doing it too.
Yeah, thank you. Also with the I know Morris was closed last year because they were going to modernize the whole school. Now that we're back in here the first year, what do you love as far as that we use in technology? If you can kind of touch base with that.
As with any new, with the modernization, with anything, we had some implementation troubles or struggles, if you want to say. And I think that's just normal. Computer glitches, certain things happening. But I think overall it's really wonderful being in a new modular classroom. We have use of the smart board technology. Kids really like it. I use a math program that's actually online and interactive. Relates really well with the kids. So it's a great program so that they can see it, and we do it every day, kind of walk through the lessons. Trying to think what other ways is technology. It's really good for the kids. I know we're moving towards potentially getting tablets as well. iPads, I think, from what I'm being told, are maybe a little bit expensive. But we're looking at getting a roving cart of potentially 30 to 35 so that we can move them to classroom to classroom. We still have, there's, as far as internet issues and security, that's a big deal. How do you track kids? How do you make sure that they're not going on inappropriate sites? That's a really big concern, And we have parents at the beginning of the year sign these waivers, and the kids sign them, but yet the reality is that with more technology, we're exposed to a lot more. So there's a lot of legal issues as well. So that's another kind of road we're going to have to go down, because when we do open it up to more technology, there's obviously more danger, so to speak. We have to make sure that we're preparing the kids appropriately, because you go Google a site and who knows what pops up.
Exactly.
And so and that's a real big issue to monitor. I have 32 kids. Can I monitor all 32? No, but there's been talk about a website or a service where we could actually, if we're in the computer lab, monitor what's on everybody's screen. So I think technology, it's a bonus. what we grew up with, it's completely different. And so we're in this ever-changing classroom that we really need to make a difference. I mean, teachers nowadays, it's not easy because we're changing just like the kids, and we have to keep up with the evolution of what's going on. And sometimes, I tell parents and the kids, I don't know everything. Sometimes the kids, I was never, they call, I guess, gamers. I was never into video games when I was a kid. And kids today are so involved. And there's a lot of great educational games. Problem is, they're not getting out and being as active as they were. And so that's where I try to get in with the fitness. Obesity is on the rise. Type 2 diabetes is on the rise, especially in kids. And that scares me. That's why I'm so into fitness with exercise balls, fit disc around the room. Every day I bring my juice, my drink, and I show the kids.
Talk about the green juice.
What's in your drink today? And I always share with them. Planting the seeds, plant the seed. Try to get these kids in. And I've had several parents, it's really neat, that have actually said, oh, my son or daughter thought about this potato chips, but yet, oh yeah, Mr. B was telling me about, well, maybe that's not a good choice. I'd rather have an apple instead. Or maybe that banana with peanut butter. Mr. B eats that for a snack. Oh yeah, I wanted to try that. I like that. So it's planting the seed with these kids, but technology has created a really interesting environment because we have to be able to adapt to a student's needs, but yet we still want to make sure that we're not just on the technological side, but on the physical side. These kids you're spending more time in front of a computer.
Yes.
What about their physical fitness? And I heard a stat last year when I was speaking at a conference. Kids born in 2000, 1 in 3 will get type 2 diabetes.
That's a scary thought.
1 in 3. That's a third of my class.
Yeah.
That's a very scary thought. And a lot of parents don't realize how scary the situation is. So technology is important, but yet I think we give and take. We're learning. The day you stop learning is the day you die. My grandmother once told me that. And so I think it's good to evolve, but yet it's good to also be a little bit precautious. But it's amazing to see what the kids are doing with technology. Yeah. And I think, gosh, in 5 years, 10 years, where are we going to be?
We're going to be Skyping from home and doing class.
Are robots going to take over the class?
Let's hope not.
I'm a firm believer, honestly. I think in 5 years, I really think textbooks will become obsolete. I really do.
They'll be digital.
I think everything. Yeah. That's just my personal opinion, but I'm also curious to see what's going to happen because everything's changing.
Yeah. Okay. How do you? Okay, this is a big one, even for me being a parent. How do you motivate the kids to learn?
Especially after we just talked about it.
Right.
Every day is a challenge, and that's one of the reasons why I became a teacher. Because I've said it before in other talks, but I wanted to be that lightning bolt to try to motivate and fire kids up and be different than every other teacher. How do I motivate students? One, they get to come in and sit on exercise ball. That's a huge thing. Yes, I might stand up and walk on a desk to talk during a lesson. I might have them stop and go to a fit disc to exercise for 30-second exercise blast for 3 to 4 minutes and then stop. That motivates them and gets them awake. I might take a class outside and conduct a class out on a nice sunny day in the grass. We might go might do a couple laps and run while we're learning our multiplication tables. Every day I try to motivate a child because I try to do different techniques, and I always try to think, if I were a 10 or 11-year-old, which what most 5th graders are these days, what would I want from a teacher? How would I want to teach a child if I were 10 years old? What do I want to learn? What would make learning fun? And I think that's always a challenge for me as a teacher. Always has been, but I always try to strive to try to put myself in a 10 or 11-year-old's shoes. Because reading a textbook is not the most exciting thing in the world. Especially the science, or social studies for that matter. But if you could bring it to life, I always try to bring a lot of real world applications in, and I try to motivate the kids to think, and I'll challenge them. Think about this, or what if this? Another recent example. Somebody was talking about social studies. I'm not a big fan, really? And I said, do you realize, due to history, that you are sitting today, for example, March 20th, in Cypress School District, Morris Elementary, in the state of California. It's history, your family, somehow, some way, your grandparents, somebody immigrated to the United States, and somehow they put this whole thing into motion where you are sitting today in this room. That's history. That doesn't interest you? The kids will say, wow, oh, that's.
I didn't think of that, but that's why the kids love you. I think
So
because you bring it up to.
I try to do
different
like
level.
bring it to the level of a child. Like what's going to really interest them, and that's what I really try to think about is what's going to interest a child.
Okay.
So that to me is very important to try to motivate kids.
Good. Also with we did talk about technology. Oh yes, you were awarded for Teacher of the Word, right? A couple of years ago, weren't
Yes.
you a teacher? Okay. Tell me a little bit. What was that specific, or how do you get that award?
That's I still to this day am pretty honored by that award. What happens is you're nominated by your school.
Okay.
By the school site, then it goes into, they choose the teachers of the year for all the schools within the district, and from there, one teacher is chosen to represent the Cypress School District.
Okay.
To me, that was an honor. The year before, I'd been chosen Teacher of the Year at Swain before it closed down, and I was pretty excited. So to come to Morris the very next year and go in it again for Morris, and then to kind of one-up that and get it for the whole district, I was over the moon. And then somebody said, you have to apply for Orange County Teacher of the Year. And I'd never heard of such a thing. And so I got the application, and I couldn't believe there's all this paperwork. I needed to get letters of recommendation, essays you had to write, do case studies, the whole lot. But I wasn't sure I wanted to do it, but everybody said, you have to do it, you have to do it. And I was really excited about doing it for the kids. So they were all, you got to do it, Mr. B. So I applied for it, and somehow I made the semifinals, and the semifinals are whittled down. There's 60 school districts in Orange County, and it whittled down to 14 semifinalists of the 60 applicants. And for the 14, they called you in to do an interview, a face-to-face interview, and they had representatives from Disney, the Register, Schools First Credit Union. I think I'm missing one or two. And it was pretty funny because I remember showing up. I mean, they literally told you have to be here tomorrow. So I had to leave school. Miss Lorman said, just go, I'll cover your class. And I had to go put a suit on. And if you know me, I never wore suits. I used to when I started teaching, but I'm always running around outside with the kids and I'd be all sweaty. It was gross. But I remember walking into this meeting and just laughing, thinking to myself, I feel like I'm on a job interview.
The whole process.
Because I was in sales and they ask you all these questions, and that's it for 20 minutes, and then you're done. And you don't hear anything.
Oh.
That's it. And on in May, it's the second week of May, they have Day of the Teacher. And what they do is they pick the 5 winners, the 5 finalists they call them, and they drive a bus around Orange County and they just show up at the schools.
You're kidding me. They actually showed up without even calling you.
And so they don't call you. And little did I know that in the gym or in our multipurpose room, my mom was there, my wife.
Oh, how neat is that?
All the representatives of the school board, and it's kind of if you've seen the video, and if you haven't, I'd be happy to show you the video they made for us because we all got copies. But I was running out of my room to go set up soccer fields, and I didn't hear anything. All of a sudden, I hear Miss Lauren, Mr. Bettencourt, and she's running in high heels.
Oh my god!
And it's all on video, and it just and I couldn't believe it. And then everybody comes, this entourage, and it was great when they gave me this golden apple. I remember thinking it's for the kids. And I go, this is for you, and I held it up. Oh. And everybody was coming out for lunch, and it was like this swarm of a couple hundred kids all came, and everybody was touching it. And I tear up thinking about it, because it's above it, I'll never forget. It was like so special, like, this is for you. And everybody came out there. It was like, wow. And then,
how neat is that?
It was just an amazing experience to go through, not only for my own 2 children and my wife, but I heard from so many old students. I heard from over 300 people. And my wife put together all these emails and comments people had sent, and hearing from old students was probably one of the most special things I got. And there was one gentleman, he's a senior now at Cypress, and he told me that I made him the man he is today. Oh. And it was like, oh.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that was, it was really special, and it really meant a lot for me to do that. So, great experience, and once a lifetime thing, and just very thankful to be able to go through that.
And of course, you're an awesome teacher, so no surprise
I
there.
try.
No surprise there.
Miss Lorman found this.
Thank you. Okay, the last quick, I'm going to ask you a question if you can fill in.
Okay.
The kids are our what?
The kids are our future.
Okay.
The kids are our hope.
The kids are our family.
The kids are the future leaders of tomorrow.
Okay.
The kids are what are going to take care of you and I when we get older. And it's up to us as parents and teachers to educate them on not just school skills, but life skills, like the organization, the time management, responsibility, because they are our future.
That's right. And your mission is pretty much, you kind of, I mean,
my
you have
mission,
the passion
I'll tell you
for it.
right now, my mission, because I had to do it for the teacher year, is to have the opportunity to make a positive effect on every single child's life on a daily basis. That's my mission.
Mission, okay.
Yes.
And why Cypress High School? I mean, not high school, of course, I'm thinking the last interview
Why
I did.
Cypress School
But
District?
why Cypress School District?
They hired me. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually used to work in Centralia.
Uh-huh.
And I got riffed out of there. The reduction in force. We're doing all the teacher cuts. So I was there, and I started interviewing, and they were the first ones to offer me a job, and I needed a job like right away. I had an infant son, needed to work, and so like Noah had just been born. So this is where I landed, and I mean and to think like even when we did our budget cuts a few years ago at Swain. My last year there, they riffed everybody up to my year 5, and I was the third person, I believe, on a list of 24. And starting from the bottom, they went all the way up to I think the 12th person. So I literally just barely made the cut.
Wow.
And to think like, gosh, all I ever want to do is teach, but I literally just barely made the cut. And all these wonderful things that have happened to me, these wonderful athletes, they're great and all, but I almost didn't make it. And just think like, gosh, because all I ever want to do is just have the chance to teach kids and be a positive role model and an influence. That's all I ever want to do, and try to get them to believe in themselves.
Definitely. The kids, like I said, they love you. They all know, and they all hope when they're in 5th grade they'll have Mr. B. And I agree with them. No, definitely. And also, I feel my legs burning. So sitting on these balls definitely working. Yeah, I'm trying to stand still here. But thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely.
And, keep up the good, awesome work. The kids love you.